I can start. Eddie, it's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
This is not our first time together, but it's always a pleasure to see you and have these interactions.
My pleasure.
We've done a few of these ones in a group, and I think these discussion forums present a good opportunity. What do you think, in your opinion, is the opportunity it presents to students, local students here in Taiwan, and for people like you in the United States to discuss issues?
You know, we've been running schools for only a couple of 100 years. Okay, let's say a few thousand years, like starting with Socrates, for instance, Plato, and so on. But basically, most of the people on our planet, you know, most of our ancestors haven't been to a school since like a few hundred years ago. But the basic method of learning is just talking around the campfire.
Right.
And so it's in our genes. It's more like human nature to talk around the campfire. Now, I think that technology is creating a global campfire.
True.
So we can put campfires on internet whenever we want and wherever we want, you know, and come together. So it's like, let me give you an example, like take for instance a traveler who, let's say a traveler 200 or 300 years ago in some remote corner of the planet, meeting a tribe, an unknown tribe, you know, they start a fire, they start talking, start communicating. I mean, such a discovery by itself is more amazing than just following classes at the university. It's crucial, and we have the opportunity to make this discovery through internet. I mean, I'm here in the United States. You guys are in Taiwan, so we just kindle a fire and sit down and talk, you know. And this has been the basic method of acquiring information and exchanging information for tens of thousands of years, since human culture first began probably 70,000 years ago, somewhere in Africa. So this has been university, you know, and it has been the basic mean of progress in knowledge and human interaction. So I believe that we should go back to it because when you talk and exchange ideas. It's not like you learn a textbook or pass a test. It's a living process of testing your ideas, of acquiring new ideas, of interacting with people in a global setting and in a holistic way. So that's why I think it's very important what we are trying to do. And I believe it's more important than any reform, any teaching reform. It's more important to have this kind of interaction, human interaction, basic human interaction. I mean, technology is helping us to go back into the jungle or into the savannah, whatever, you know.
Right.
So we just sit down around the fire, around the campfire, and talk, you know. And you don't need to have even a structure for your conversation, because the structure is growing naturally as people come with different ideas and so on. And of course, it's the basic human curiosity to look at the other end of the world, you know, and to see other faces, other people, to know people.
Right. Right. And this curiosity drives us. And yeah. Dan, anything you want to add here?
Yes, I would like to thank Eddie for being part of this project and for joining us, and for being able together to offer this unique opportunity to Taiwanese students and also the international students that are here studying in Taiwanese universities. Because when I was a student, when I was a graduate student, a PhD student at Chiao Tung National University in Taiwan, I would have loved, or I would have done anything to have this kind of opportunities, to have discussion forums where I can exchange ideas at the spur of the moment with my Taiwanese colleagues and classmates, and not only with them but also with my professors. We as professors often forget that we are not experts in everything. We sometimes try to portray like we are the experts and we know everything, but I think the opportunity of this discussion forums is to bring over special guests and experts in different disciplines and different knowledge that can join us and help particularly the students to learn and to ask questions. I remember, Eddie, you were saying that nothing gets done unless questions are asked. And I think this discussion forums are the best way for doing things or getting things accomplished, because this is where students really have an opportunity to ask questions and not to be hindered or to be cornered or blocked by the issue of saying something wrong or saying something that's inappropriate to the topic or the subject. I think anybody can come up with their own opinion and their own ideas and try to fit in around the main idea.
Right. When I was a student, my undergraduate degree, we were typically locked in a classroom with one professor speaking, and the interaction and communication you had was one professor and students. And I think these forums can actually just broaden this. International topics, if we talk about business or education or politics, nowadays we need the interaction. It's good to know about cultural differences around the world, but to experience this firsthand, like you say, through this international or internet campfire we can create through this. Sitting together and exchanging ideas, maybe management or education, these topics are dynamic topics that keep on changing. And I think these forums provide us the opportunity to connect with experts around the world with very different, vastly different concepts and backgrounds to get a meeting of the minds and hopefully create something good, a synergy, if you like, from these discussions.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, because we use this metaphor campfire, let's pick on another metaphor.
Right.
The agora, the Socratic agora. So we talk about the history of philosophy, and you talk about Socrates in textbooks. You have that professor, talking before a classroom, let's say about Socrates, yeah. But as a matter of fact, this was a guy, a barefoot guy, in a marketplace,
right,
surrounded by some people. They were just talking or just sitting down at the table and having a glass of wine and talking, And so they say that the Western philosophy is just a footnote to Socrates and Plato. But these were not philosophers. They would be surprised to see how we teach their ideas in schools, in textbooks, and have exams and tests and PhDs on their ideas, because they never had this intention. They just wanted to talk and to interact, And it's very interesting because we talked about Socrates. He has a very interesting idea that has been picked on by the French philosopher Jacques Derrida. And his idea was that basically when you write something down, it's dead already. The idea is dead. So he said that the only method of knowledge, true method of knowledge, is conversational, because it's dialectic. The idea keep feeding on each other, and grow in a kind of spiral by what every single disciple brings. It's like a potluck. Everybody brings some food, and then they all share together. And so Jacques Derrida even has a book, Grammatology, where he approaches this issue and says that basically when you write a book, you give as an expert, he was an expert, of course, unlike me, but he said when you give a conference talk about for a certain topic, you never finish your idea. It's in a kind of limbo, so this is why conversation is important, because it actually is the only method of developing the ideas. What is put down on paper, it's kind of data, and so Socrates said, if I put something down on paper, I write something on papyrus, let's say, not paper, yeah? He said, my ideas cannot defend themselves. So somebody is going to pick that piece of paper and read my ideas as a textbook, but they start interpreting it, and they misinterpreting it. And my paper cannot defend itself, but if I talk in a conversation, I have the opportunity to defend my ideas, you know, and to develop it, and probably somebody will change it already, you know. So this is what living is all about, you know. So it's ideas should be alive, and only in a conversation you have ideas alive, because, as I said, I go back to my campfire campfire metaphor. Basically, it's in our genes. This is how we became human. This is how we created culture. We didn't create culture by running a school in a cave or something like that, yeah? We just put a fire in the middle and just started talking and exchanging ideas. When a traveler passed by, it was a great news, great event. Okay, man, sit down with us. Let's try to understand each other, probably through body language, not even by words, you know, but just let us know each other. And so this is how we became human, and we created culture, and we created a global culture. So, I mean, so we are going back to this, methods of teaching, Socratic, if you want to say this, or even, let's say, Paleolithic teaching, Paleolithic university, cave university,
right,
where you, yeah, like the old cavemen, we go back to the basics of learning and creating culture.
Right.
Okay, Eddie, we want to thank you very much for your input and opinion and feedback in regards to discussion forums. Nian, do you have anything else you want to say?
I look forward to doing this on a more regular basis, if time permits. I think we can kindle this fire and make this fire burn everywhere around the world.
That's fine.
That's a good goal to have.
And our goal is to invite all the universities and students, particularly in Taiwan, international and domestic students, to come together to this fire and sit around and exchange ideas and open up horizons. And I truly believe, we all truly believe that out of this fire that's been kindled, we're going to come up with good research, good studies, and overall a good educational system for Taiwan, universities in Taiwan and all around the world.
And everybody.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Good.